Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and today we are back with another exciting tutorial on AWS, and in this video we are going to talk about cost allocation tag. And why it's important is because in AWS we can tag the AWS resources, and we have two type of tagging. One we see like it's an AWS generated tags, and the other one is like user defined tags, like how we can define the tags for your resources, whether it's an EC2 instance or it's a storage. And why it's important is it will help you, by enabling these tags in the cost allocation tag. So there's a difference between, a resource tag, or like the one which we do use it like a technical tag, and there is a difference between cost allocation tag. So whenever you attach a tag to a resource, it's not available for your cost allocation or cost report. So what we will see in this tutorial would be like how we can make use of the cost allocation tag, and which will help you to get a detailed billing report where you can drill down to different kind of reports where you can find, okay, based on these tags which we attach to these resources. So that's what we are going to see in this tutorial, like completely about tagging and how we can enable these technical tags for cost allocation. And you will be able to see your cost explorer, or if you have a quick site FinOps reports, you will be able to find these detailed reports using these tags. So I'm directly jumping into the discussion because I will directly go to the AWS documentation and I will show you in the AWS console. So it's a pretty simple tutorial to give you the information how you need to set up your infrastructure if you don't have it already. So as per the name, the tag is a key value pair. So you're going to attach something to your resources, whether it's an Elastic Compute Cloud, or is an the simple storage service like S3 bucket, or anything, any AWS resource. And what the example, like, you can attach some tags like cost center or environment or project or your Git repository name or your build IDs. So different kind of tags you can attach, and it will have a value as well into it. So how you can add these tags, you can use the API operations, or you can manually edit through consoles, or you do it like a resource group. But in general, the process, how you, if you are using infrastructure as code, you will have those tagging as part of your code. So nobody is going to do it manually, like every resource going through the tagging. So you can create your code in a way that you have all these tags attached to your machines whenever resources, whenever you create them as part of your build process, or it's manually created through the command line, or it's like ephemeral, like which just runs for some time and just delete. So as part of your building process of these machines, it's infrastructure as code, you can do this as part of your coding. So that will help you, for the tagging, and you can read these resources. So I'm not going to talk about how you can tag. So I'm more want to talk about what is the importance of this tagging. So now what you have it like when you tag these machines, that is called a technical tag or resource tag. So you will be able to see when you go to the machine and you will see the tags in your AWS console. You'll be able to see the tag. But that tag is not going to help you from a billing perspective or get a detailed report, because those are not available yet for the billing. So in order to have that, you need to enable, there is something called cost allocation tags. So you will be able to see, like when you go to the cost allocation tag, you'll be able to see the user defined as well as Amazon or system design tags, and you will be able to enable them. So you have two type of tags you will see, like AWS generated tag and user defined. And for example, like for AWS, it creates a tag called created by or created dates, those kind of things. And the user defined, like you can have like cost center, or like it's a dev environment or production environment, something like that. So you will have these kind of details, and once you enable those things, you should be able to get a report detail, like, okay, your details of different kind of resources. And how you get these things, I will show you. So as I simply want to just reiterate, so a cost allocation tag is a tag, is a label, or which AWS assigned to a AWS resource. It can be AWS assigned resource, or it can be a user assigned resource, and it will have a key value pair. And using these resources, you'll be able to track the AWS cost in detail level. Because you'll be able still be able to see the AWS cost and other stuff, but if you want the detailed in-depth level, that's why the cost allocation tag help. And for that, you need to activate this cost allocation tag. Okay, so I will go to the AWS console, and if you go to your billings and cost management, so you can search here billing and cost management. Since I already have it, I will just go to the billing and cost management, and you will have on the left side the cost explorer where you will be able to see your billing details, and you will have on the right you can have different kind of grouping like service tags. So if you go to tag, you don't have any tags at all now because the tag is not enabled yet. So if you have some tags enabled, you will be able to see it. So in case if you have some cost report here, and if you want to filter with some tag, you can just put the tag, so you will be able to do the split up of this. Okay, and you will be able to see like which service you are using, like it's EC2 or CloudWatch or those kind of things. And how you enable this cost allocation, if you go to cost organization, the same billing, you will have something called cost allocation tag. And if you click on it, so if you click on the cost allocation tag, you will be on this screen where you'll have user defined cost allocation, and on the top you'll have AWS generated cost allocation tag. So now you can see the AWS you have created by stack name, stack ID. These are default, but everything are inactive. And the user defined, you have Amazon ES manage name. So, but you can add as many tag you want, but be careful, don't add unnecessary tag. Make use of some tag which have a meaningful description and value. Okay. So now if you want to enable something, you just click here and you click on activate and click on activate. So it should be enabled the same way like for user define, you can click on activate, it will be activated. But be careful, like not everybody will have access to this activation. So if you have like an organization accounts which are having more permissions, so based on the permission level, only those people who have the control on the billing will have this permission level. So if you're in an organization, you will have to reach out to the person who have the access. And but the tags you should be able to see it, but you will not be able to enable it. Now, once you enable it, once if you go back to your Cost Explorer, we may not see this change immediately because it will take at least 24 hours to reflect on the reporting. So you will not see the tags immediately, but if you once you enable it, it will take 24 hours, then you will be able to see the tags here. Now, what the benefit is, like for example, you have a environment tag like environment prod, dev, test. So if you enable those tags, when you go to this Explorer, you will be able to see a report where once you filter it with the tag, you will be able to see, okay, for your prod instances, you are using this much of cost, dev instances, this much of cost. Or maybe if you want to split more, like you have some teams, you have to put the tags based on the teams in your machines. When you create the machine, you put the tag like team A, team B, team C. Yeah, so you could be able to see the tag for here team, and you just use the tag. So you will be able to get the filtering of your cost based on team A, team B, team C. So it's very useful feature, but you should be having a proper defined tags, and you should make sure that as part of your infrastructure code, how you're defining your AWS process, you should define all those things perfectly. So you should get the proper benefit out of this costing report. That's all I wanted to show you on this tutorial. So thank you for watching. If you are new to my channel, I would request you to subscribe my channel, click the like button, click the notification so you'll be notified about new tutorials, and also keep watching my videos. Give your feedback in the comment section. So I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.